Welcome to Spurs Ration TV. Big up everyone. Hope you're all doing well. Right, guys. At this moment in time, long time I haven't seen Keshav. Keshav is a West Ham fan from Malaysia, right? And of course, good afternoon, good evening, and good morning to everyone around the world, especially guys. It's noon there now. Or is it like 2 p.m. there?
Yeah, it's 2 o'clock. It's 2 o'clock.
Yeah,
Sun
2 p.m.
beating down on the back of. Yeah, the sun's beating down. I'm in the shade, so I'm not going to get too sunburnt.
Yeah. Right. And of course, today I've got Keshav here. Haven't seen him some time. Hopefully, we'll get an insight on how the West Ham fans are feeling about Kudus coming over to Spurs, right? But before that, since we haven't done this, let's have a word from Keshav. Keshav, how do you feel about your season pass? Right, you guys were just one spot above us.
Yes, can you hear me, by the way?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you, mate.
Good. Nice to see you all. Good for coming. I'm good. I'm glad I'm back. It's been quite a long time. Yes, regards to last season, wasn't the best of seasons, I would say. To be honest, I think the worst season I think I've seen West Ham playing for quite a long time. We appointed Lopetegui last August. That didn't work out. And to be honest, that turned into quite a shambles, really. And then we got rid of him. We went to appoint Potter, and that also I felt at that time I thought it was a stable appointment. I thought he's a type of project manager, as you call it, and I felt it was the right step for him. It didn't work out at Chelsea. Brighton was sort of a good step for him in terms of working with a proper set of players, and he has a good recruitment team behind him. So I thought, what, if he comes to West Ham, he would sort of have that staff, sort of have that kind of recruitment. But giving my thoughts on last season, I don't think he really played well, especially at home. I think we were very poor at home. I did not think we played very well. I think if I'm not mistaken, when we played the first game in Potter's first game in charge against Villa, we had Somerville in that game, and we had Fulcrum. And I thought we played really well in the game. It was an FA Cup game, third round. We played the 3 at the back system. And I thought, wow, this is something he could do in this team, because he played Somerville in the wing-back role. He played Kudus, in the middle with Paqueta as a 2-cam role. And I thought, he actually played with intent and wanting to attack with the ball. But then Fulcrum got injured in the game, and then Estevilas sort of won that game, sort of in style, I would say. But I think after that, we sort of lost a few games in there. Palace, we lost at home. Brentford, we lost at home. We really played badly. And then we lost at home. Palace was really bad. Then Everton, we got a good point away. Then we had some notable victories against Arsenal, which was very good. So that I saw, we had a very good defense as well. But then I felt I still need to see more. It's a bit. I'm still feeling. I want to find optimism, but it's very difficult because I'm still not yet sold on Potter. He needs to. I like the fact that you can come out in the media and say that we want to try and have a good season, but it's all about the actions. It's all about trying to have intent on pushing. You have to push with ambition. The problem is that our club, you're not doing that. So I'm not worried for Potter at the moment. I'll come to it in a bit, but I'm worried about this board. We have this. Our own board is the issue at this moment, and I'm quite furious by it. So, as you can tell with this Kudus transfer, we'll get on to it. So,
yeah, and Guy, just to give you some history, right? I've been doing shows with Keshav for some time, right? And the year when when the year that Moyes won the Conference League, right? He was Moyes out all the way. So I guess that's what he deserves to get. And then when he got Lopetegui, he was really happy, right? I could see in his face. But then when results weren't coming in, then you started to change again. But now we move on, right? And being a Spurs fan, like I said, we don't care. We want a trophy. Look at that. Right?
Yeah. Like I say, I don't have my medal. If I knew there was going to be a show on, I'd bring the medal out, mate. It would be nice and gleaming in the sun, man. nice and gold, fam. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. But today, I'm just doing the show because Keshav is free, right? And I just messaged him. So now, because I'm seeing this meltdown reaction coming from all the West Ham fans that Kudus is moving over to Spurs. But then, for me, as I see it, right, like what you're saying, Keshav, right? You guys don't have the funds to buy the players for what Potter needs, right? You do need to move players out to get players in, right? So, and surprisingly, according to the reports that Kudus actually has a 85 million buyout clause or something like that. And somehow other, Daniel Levy has been able to squeeze it down to 55, and you guys have accepted the offer. And at the moment, I hear Kudus is actually having a medical at Spurs now. And being a Spurs fan guy, you and I've been through it. We ain't gonna be confident. He's there.
We're not confident until he pulls the shirt up and he goes and he does that silly little interview on Tottenham TV.
Yes.
We know this. We've been here before. We've been Spurs fans for decades now, man. We are always linked to every single player everywhere. You know this, Eugene. I don't follow Fabrizio Romano or any of that nonsense, because I always say, I'm a participant. I just hear it on the grapevine. But waking up to West Ham fans, because obviously I live in London, I live in southeast London. There are a lot of West Ham fans here, lots of West Ham, Millwall, and Charlton fans, and I'm telling you, Millwall fans are melting down, man. They are talking about protesting. They are just I don't know, they are mad, fam. They are mad about this. I have never seen the West Ham fan base so angry. And obviously, if you're not born over, if you're under the age of 30, you don't know about why we've got the rivalry with West Ham. Because back in the day, going to Upton Park, that was an away day where you'd just be like, you'd have your Spurs shirt, you put a black top over it, and you would not take that top off until you're seated in the stadium. Because those West Ham fans back in the day, they were like Millwall fans, man. It was insane. But yeah, West Ham fans are mad. Because I'm hearing the reason why you're so desperate, and you can tell me because you know your club better than me, is because they've got this, a £40 million loan they have to pay off. And they've sold Kudus. They've sold Kudus, or Kudus the Judas, which a lot of people are calling him, to us for 55 mil. So technically, you're only going to get, if this is all true and it all happens, you're only going to get technically what? 10 mil, maybe less than that for him if we get him for that price.
No, Guy, I heard in reports, right? The 55 mil, right, has been paid off in 3 years. So I guess you divide that by 3. So you're getting about, 15, 17 or 18?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but no, it helps into their finances again, Maybe that's, the problem now with football, right, becoming so money-based now, right? That's why that day when I went on AG's show, right, there was a guy talking about money and money and money. I just turned around and told those guys, right, boy, Manchester United.
What are we, accountants?
No, Manchester United is turning to Spurs, right? Because Spurs fans, right, we talk more about money than actual football whenever we come to talk about Spurs.
Well, right? You Spurs fans do. I do not. I'm like, really? Really? Because you know me, because I'm more about stuff on the pitch and that the business side stuff, because obviously my job is to do projects and budgeting. I don't want to think about that stuff when I'm watching a football game. But I understand that there is Spurs fans love to talk about money, the business side. And it's like, what's happened to Man United now? What's happened here? And also with West Ham, I think this is the first time I've ever heard West Ham players talk about money as well.
Yeah. And we got Luca in the chats, right? Luca, what do you think about Gyökeres? And what do you think about Noni Madueke? And the Arsenal fans are having a meltdown in buying Noni Madueke. Yeah, it's so funny, right?
Did you see Igel? Did you see Igel stream? He was like, It's like, whoa, calm down, mate.
And Igal is the most positive Arsenal fan you have out there, and he's breaking down.
Everyone's just commenting, going, "Trust the process. Trust the process."
Wait. Luca, what you said? The Gyökeres deal is off? Are you serious?
Oh no,
No way.
we won't know that. That's all rumor, man. That's all rumor.
No, I don't know.
But no, we're here to talk about West Ham, man. Let's talk about West Ham.
Yeah. Let's go back to West Ham, right? All right. How do you actually
I'm
feel?
interested.
Right? Yeah, how do you actually feel, right, Kesha? I know we had a few chats in the group in WhatsApp, right? And Lucas says it's true. Okay, who cares? Let them have their meltdown, right? Let them get their non-Madueke. Yeah, we'll find out soon as possible. Right, the deal is
two keys.
Yeah, let them have their meltdown. But okay, while you know what Guy says is very true, right? Because of the history between Spurs and West Ham, right? If you talk about in the 90s and the early 2000s, right, we were more or less like rivalries, right? But once we broke away, right, in the past couple of years, you say about 10 years ago, we started to break away from West Ham. You weren't much of a rivals to us until this season when we were fighting for 16th spot. That's when we were rivals, right? That's the joke of last season. But what I'm saying now is that, Luca is Arteta out, right? And Noni Madueke is rubbish anyway. On Kudus, right, actually suits you guys. Oh yeah, Kudus does suit us, right? Kudus does suit us, right? Big up to Luca. Based on this scenario now, but you do need to sell to buy, right? To meet up to the PSR, and you need money to bring in players for this summer. And you know Potter has got a very specific style of players that he needs, right? So why don't you just take it on the chin, sell Kudus to Spurs, right? I know, like Guy and I, we are very, very pragmatic Spurs fans until he's actually in the stadium. He's done that video, signed the contract. Then we will be confident that Kudus is actually a Spurs player. But at this moment in time, right, I'm not sure whether you have feelers out there. You've been watching any of the West Ham YouTube and all that. Is it really that bad at the moment? I know I've seen a lot of posting going up that, if Kudus goes to Spurs, right, there's going to be a big protest and all that.
Let me put it this way. Well, when I saw that news yesterday, I was disappointed, but then I expected him to go. Let me be clear, I expected him to go. But I did not expect him to go to Spurs. That I did not, because I'm being honest. Because why I'm saying that is because I expected the bidding war. Yes, he's not worth his 85 million, but I think West Ham should have hold out for more, at least close to 65 million, which is at least, at least close to 65 million, which we didn't do. We let Daniel Levy have his own say. Daniel Levy lowballed his own price as usual, and of course our owner succumbed to the pressure and just accepted the offer. And this is the problem. It's not that this is the problem I've been saying for quite a long time. I've said that our owners, I don't want to be saying this, but our owners are incapable of running a club anymore. The problem is we do not know how to sell players, and this is the big issue. Yes, we sold Rice for 100 million, which I thought was good business, and yes, he probably went to a good club, which was a good step for him. Yes, it was a rivalry club, but I give respect to him, and he's left already. But Kudus going to Spurs, that doesn't look good, because not just for the price, but the way he. Yes, I don't care whatever he does now with Spurs, and I'm not interested in that. But it's just the way our owners have handled it, which is not what I'm happy with. There's a certain way you handle things, especially in football. Negotiations, we have not handled it well. We've just accepted whatever has come. We should have just waited patiently for Spurs to up the price, or maybe waited for Chelsea to come in, and then just have seen how the situation would have been first. But our David Sullivan, our owner, was desperate for cash. And what's the problem, Eugene? We're pleading to clubs. West Ham have no money to spend. We are skint at the moment. It's all over on Twitter. That's the problem here. We are telling clubs we don't have money. We are desperate. The problem is we are desperate. And I've never seen us as a club that, we've come to this new stadium. Last 10 years, we've already moved to the London stadium. We've spent a lot on signings. How can we be in this position? I'm saying, how can we be in this position when we
No,
spent?
but I got a question for you.
Can I just jump in? Can I just jump in quickly, Eugene?
Go ahead.
Like, obviously, like, I know a lot of West Ham fans blame us for the London Stadium. It is what it is. But I'm hearing, and you can confirm this or not. I mean, that stadium, like West Ham, have got the lowest operational costs because
Yeah.
that stadium's in Stratford, right? So all of the security in that is supplied by like the Stratford area,
Yes,
isn't it?
if I'm not mistaken, yeah.
Yeah, man.
So,
I've been there a couple of times.
Yeah, but my question to Keshav is like this, right? Who else do you have in your squad, right, or in your academy, right, that actually can generate funds for you to actually give Potter a decent, I'm not going to say a good, right, give Potter a decent rebuild of your squad? You can say no, because you already sold Declan for 100, you blew that 100 by buying other players, and those players didn't work out, maybe for the styles of the managers coming in. No, it's the Spurs story again. We've blown money like stupid too all these years, right? We spend money like crazy.
End on belly, mate. End on belly.
And you look at our Solanke deal, right? £65 million for a striker who didn't score more than 10 goals last season in the Premier League, right? So it's a mirror effect. But the thing is that at this moment in time, while Spurs fans here will say that, oh, Daniel Levy has got a good deal here, you do not know what's happening in the back room. Maybe after this deal closes, right? Maybe Sullivan and Levy has made a deal that, okay, we'll give you a few of our players on loan.
Okay, no, it's not gonna happen.
I don't think that's ever going to happen, mate. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, that's never going to happen.
Because, guys, we have to admit, right? Because this summer transfer window is one of the weirdest summer transfer windows that we ever had. Because
it's because of the club. It's because of the Club World Cup, mate. That's why. That's what's made it so weird.
Yeah, and it's going to span about 3 months from the June to August. Actually, 3 months.
Yep.
So that's why, whilst this is going on, I'm happy that this deal is going through early for Spurs because
yes,
at least
we need it.
Kudus comes in. He will have time to acclimatize to the way that Frank wants to play, the system, and the blah blah blah. Right?
Not like we got last season with Brennan Johnson and all them lot when they came in. Like, wasn't it like Brennan Johnson was a week into the season or something?
Yeah,
I remember.
But what I'm saying now is that that's the problem. Maybe that's why your owners and your board is saying this, because the summer transfer window is too long, number one. Number two is that if they don't go out, and maybe most probably Potter is putting pressure on them too, because if they don't go out, right, and do a deal and give him some money to bring in players early, right, so he can work on them too. You know what I'm saying? Look at it. Sunderland, right, coming up from the Championship, they are moving. You get it?
Oh, yeah.
But, West Ham, Keshav, you haven't bought a single player. So now you have to get this deal done, so at least that you can move some players in, right? And who else can you move out? I've heard that the defender, Oga or something like that, has got some interest from overseas and all that. Who other players?
There's so many players that
but you can't sell Jared Bowen.
Yeah, we can't.
No, they'll never sell that boy. Danny Dyer would cry, mate. Danny Dyer would absolutely die. He would literally jump on a podcast for his first and only football content going, fuck you know, what the fuck?
Yeah, no, seriously. Who else can you sell? Right?
Okay, I'll come to this.
How about the club mascot?
Oh, God. Okay, I'll put it this way. Our club can't sell players, and the reason why we can't sell players like an Agad, like Mavropanos, is because our club doesn't know how to sell at a high price.
Apparently not, mate.
Let's say okay, a good example. Let's say Agad's market value is probably 20 million, but we sell him for probably 15 million or 10 million. That's the rate we're going at. We don't know how to sell players at a little bit above their market value so we can make a profit.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, whenever we sell players, we're making a loss. And anybody in our team that we are looking to sell players to other clubs, the problem is clubs are not interested in those players. So it's very difficult to move on. I'll give you an example. Okay, Ward-Prowse. I do not want Ward-Prowse in this team, but we can't sell him. He's 30 years old. Suchek is another one. He's going to be 30. The other guy is who else? Few other players. Fulkrug will probably stay in this season, and then you have the whole mix. Alvarez also probably is going to go. Who's going to get him? I clearly don't know, but his price will probably go up now because of the Mexican Cup he won. Then you got there's a Guido Rodriguez who's probably going to get sold, probably for 5 million or so. I don't know, probably that much. There's few players in this squad that we can be able to sell. Otherwise, you probably release these players. We do not have a sizable amount of money to spend, and this is it comes back to this big problem I'm having is we do not know how to identify players, how to sell players at a high rate, and we've got lucky with Kudus and Rice. Very simple.
No, but okay. Let's talk about
It kind of
Rice.
sounds like you're doing the exact opposite of Chelsea, mate. It sounds like you're doing the complete opposite of Chelsea. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but the thing is that Rice, right? Declan Rice wasn't your academy. Was he an academy player?
He went from Chelsea and then came to us.
Right. He went from a young age from Chelsea. He jumped to West Ham.
Got released from Chelsea. Yeah.
Yeah, it was released from Chelsea and he came to West Ham. Right. But the thing is, what I see, like you look into the history of West Ham, right? Your academy in the past, right, was producing top class players, right? You know, quality players.
Yeah, Defoe.
Yeah, you had Defoe, you had it was Lampard there, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Lampard.
Yeah. And you went through that stage where your academy was able to generate enough funds, right, for you guys to be at a certain level, right? But in this past 5 years, right, I mean, I've been doing shows with you and all that, right? I haven't actually seen academy players from West Ham, right, coming out. Somehow or another, you have lost that academy touch and all that, you know? And we don't go on to the sense of, like Brighton, where they pick up brilliant gems for about 10 million pounds, 15 million pounds, and offload them for...
Oh, yeah, Brighton's a flipping machine, isn't it? They just literally get a player and flip them.
Yeah, they flip, right? And to tell the truth, it's not only you have problems in that recruitment, even Spurs have problem in that recruitment. We see it with our own recruitment. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's terrible, mate.
Sold, apart from Harry Kane, right? We haven't actually sold an academy player worth of a premium value for a long time, you know? So...
No, we haven't. Our highest sellers was Kane, Bale, Modric. I went through a list yesterday, but those are the three bigs.
No, but Guy, Modric and Bale didn't come from our academy.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, and we were flipping them, right? And nowadays, right, I don't know, maybe we have that same syndrome, right? We buy players in and we hold them for too long. You know, we players like Ben Davies has been here for 11 years. Think about it, right? So that's what one part of it. But the thing is that, what do you think, right, as a West Ham fan, that you guys really need, right, to move on? And to tell the truth, right, you and I, right, we as the London teams, right, we were bloody lucky last season, right? The bottom three, right, were out of the race, right, like 8 or 10 games before the season closed. That's why we were comfortable to forego. Remember, Guy, after the Frankfurt game that the watch along, I was telling
pre-season friendlies.
Yeah, after that, right? After the Frankfurt game, right? When I said, for me, I saw what was happening. We were going for the Europa League. Rest of the league games, right? I think that was
we bummed off the league, mate.
Yeah, the last 6 league games, right? We bummed them off. You get it, no? And did we even win one game after that? I think we only beat one team after that, right? And the rest of it, we lost. We even lost to you guys, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, lost 1-0.
Yeah, we lost to you guys, right? And the thing is that we had an objective. We were going for a trophy. We got that trophy. That's why this season, being a Spurs fan, my chest can come out on whatever channel I go on to. I don't care, right? Whatever you shout at me, all I do is I'll point to this.
About league finish. League finish don't mean nothing if you've won a trophy.
Right. But of course, we come to that problem is that after what happened, the league finish and all that, Ange gets sacked. Right? Okay. To be fair, I was Ange, don't care. I'm happy we got a trophy. But now we got Frank. Now Frank is that the first two players that we signed back is Matisse Tell and Danso. They were from the January loan, right? And then we went in for a young Japanese boy, 20-year-old, 19-year-old, Kota Takai from Kawasaki Frontale. And now Kudus. Kudus is the actual big signing of the season, right? And after we sign this Kudus, right, I don't see us signing any other big players coming in apart from free agents, right? Which scares me at the moment because the free agents out there is something like Callum Wilson, DCL, right? Those are the players.
I think. Yeah, the rumors as well is we might get Vissa or Wissa. I don't know how you pronounce his name. I've never seen the guy play, but it's just a rumor, isn't it?
Yeah, but Wissa is from Brentford, so Wissa will have this understanding with what you call Frank.
Yes, Frank.
With Frank. But for you, right? The problem is, right? You brought in Potter. Right? After what Lopetegui did, you brought in Potter, and Potter didn't fare too well with the group of players that he had under the old regime, right? And Potter has been out of a job for like nearly 1.5 years, 2 years.
Yeah.
So I think you have a problem not only with the players that you have a problem with the manager at the moment. Is it?
Yeah, I'm hearing West Ham fans. You can confirm this. From the West Ham fans that I know, which I've been trolling all day and all yesterday, is that they say, one of the reasons Kudus, because people love GA. I don't give a toss about GA, but people were saying that, due to Kudus was mismanaged, Bowen was mismanaged, the team is mismanaged. So, like I say, I don't watch West Ham every week, rather not, no offense. I mean, you tell me, man. You're the West Ham fan. Let us know. Do you think they were mismanaged?
They put this. I think during Lopetegui's time, there were a lot of fights during the changing room. That I will say. I think after the Spurs game, when we lost 4-1, that's when it happened. Kudus got upset and all. And then that's when Lopetegui started to have arguments with other players like Todibo, Areola.
You got Todibo too, right? Shit.
And then we started to... Yeah, the environment in the club wasn't good after that Spurs game. Then it started to... Then rumors started saying, okay, the camp was good and all that, but the rumors didn't go away. And then after that, I think Kudus... let's be honest here, I think Kudus wasn't good last season. Very poor. And let's be honest, I don't think he was interested in even looking at or having intentions of playing well last season at all. I don't think that was his keys. I think if you when
he had a great season before, didn't he? He had a great season before.
Don't get me wrong, he did.
Well, not great, but great for West Ham.
The problem which I don't like is that not to be rude. I don't want to say I'm mean here, but Kudus signs freely, mate. Kudus signs fast, right? And then you stay for 2 years and leave. The problem is most of our players, they don't like to. They only will stay for a couple of years and leave. You don't have players who will stay for 5 years, and that's probably the modern trend now. It's how.
No. Wait. But you got Souček there. Souček's been there 5 years.
Yeah, Souček's been there for probably 4 to 5 years, and
was Palhinha part of your midfield?
No. He was from Fulham.
Oh, Palhinha was from... Who was your midfielder that was sold off too, right? There was one midfielder.
Sold off.
I can't remember. You still got one more midfielder was quite good as a holding 6, right? If I'm not mistaken. But okay, when you're talking about players like these players, right? You're saying at this moment in time, you're flipping your players too fast and over, right? But the thing is that if you don't have the money, you have to move in that direction.
Sorry, my phone's overheating.
All right. Yeah, he's in the sun.
Yes, Eugene, but the problem with that is very sad because how was West Ham in this position? Because compared to few seasons ago, we were spending money, and the problem with our board is that our board doesn't invest in the club using their own money. They use the West Ham's prize money as the money used for transfers.
To tell the truth, Kesha, Spurs do the same thing. You get what I'm saying? We build a $1 billion
yeah.
stadium, right? And we take a loan from it, and the fans are paying it off. It's not the owners who put in the money for the £1 billion stadium, right? All owners nowadays that run football clubs, right, are, to tell the truth, leeching off the support of the fans. It's a very standard thing. But the thing is that how you manage it, right, to make sure, right, that you have a proper turnover. And tell you the truth, right, I'm a Spurs fan. I've seen all these shitty turnovers and all that, right? And we hold on to players until we die. We've got a list of players, right, who we bought during the Nuno Conte time, right, who are still here, right, and we're still trying to get rid of. We've got Solomon, and to tell the truth, we've got Phillips, we've got Brian Hill. Think about it.
Brian Hill. We still got Brian Gill, yeah.
Yeah, we got
that 70s guy.
Yeah, you know, and to tell the truth, that's why I'm saying, for all you know, right, there could be some deal going on, right, after this Kudus deal is done. Levy might shift some
I
of
hope so, Eugene.
I hope to so. You know,
I really
maybe
hope
you get some cheap deal from us. You can say now. Like you might, would you like Brian Hill? We can give you Brian Hill. No. Would you like Solomon? We can give Solomon to you. He was Leeds last season, right? So,
none of your players.
Right. So that's the thing. But the problem is that you say you don't want our players, right? How many of your players that other clubs want out there, apart from Kudus? Right?
That's the problem there, because we don't know how to make use of our players. Our previous managers don't know how to make our players play well. This has been the big problem. We've always been solely relying on one player to do a job. For example, Bowen, for example, Kudus, for example, Rice. We don't work together as a team. I know West Ham for all this. We always rely on individual quality to win. If let's say we don't have Kudus, we are in the big trouble.
Yeah, and sorry to say that Antonio, that car crash, because to tell the truth, right, Antonio was always that, you know, main target man who get you over the line, right? But after you lost him, right, Fulcroft was rubbish, to tell you the truth, right? He didn't do well at all.
Yeah, but you know, this is why I'm trying to feel optimistic, but it's very difficult to find, and this is why West Ham fans have a right to be upset, because we're trying to find ways to look for things to be positive. But the owners are just, I'm sorry to say, they have been horrific in the way they handle things here. From last season to how you handle Moyes to how you handle each manager.
You want that Moyes out, right, bro? Don't know how you handle Moyes. You want that Moyes out like shit.
From that on, Eugene, it's been David Sullivan does not. He's the type of owner that does not know how to handle a club. He's been at this club for more than 10 years, and he still doesn't know how to handle or how to sell a vision to players. He does not know how to recruit. He always likes to handle transfers, which I do not like. We need a director of football, which you keep getting rid of. That's why we got Tim Steidenoff. It's all to do with him. This is the problem.
The way you're talking, right? You're talking like Spurs, because Daniel Levy does the same thing, right? Because I keep telling all the Spurs fan base out there, right? Nobody makes the decision on players apart from Daniel Levy. In the end of the day, if Daniel Levy says green light, okay, we're going to get Kudus, we will go and get Kudus. If Daniel Levy says no, it's no. You guys see that? But last season, I think Daniel Levy had a big pressure on him, is because if you go and watch my videos, right, Keshav, we had 2 big protests against him, right, that turned up at the stadium. So he felt that. So, and after when we won the cup, right, most probably he had to make some changes, right? So, but for you guys, right, you guys have not actually protested at the stadium to show your displeasure on your own.
And this is why it needs to happen again. This is why it has to start happening, because I really want these owners out. I'm sorry, it's time. It's done for me already. We need. I also like to say something, because I also noticed this is that other clubs are doing this ownership model where you own a few clubs, like Chelsea are owning a few. Their owners having
the multi-club ownership model.
A multi-club ownership model, and I'm thinking, why are West Ham not doing this? Why are we not taking advantage of this? And if I'm looking at, I'm also saying, Bournemouth have better training facilities now. They just opened up, or they just developed their new training facility a few months ago. Why are we not doing that? We still have the Rush Green training ground, which is probably a championship sort of standard. I'm being honest, it's a championship
Yeah, I was
standard.
going to ask you. I was going to ask you because I remember when you moved to the London Stadium. I remember a lot of your fans were looking forward to upgrading the actual facilities because one of the things at Spurs that we get really knocked off is our training facilities are amazing, our stadiums amazing, depending on who you talk to. But I think it's a good bloody stadium. You know, we've got huge investment from there's money there, but like we're still shit.
Mm.
So you're telling me you're still using like the old training stuff?
Yeah. But it's not like
Wow.
we're redeveloping it using we're adding additional facilities from that training ground. But still, this is what I mean. We're trying to our club is the way we handle things very traditional, which I don't like. We need to move into a modern way. The problem is our owner does not like that. Whenever there's something potential, like our owner, right? When he handles transfers, he likes to go through agents, which I never like. For example, a clear agent, Will Salthouse. I don't really know. He has a footballing agency, or you
No, but the
handle.
problem is, no,
Wow.
Kesha, this is how you do it nowadays. All footballers have agents. You have to go to agencies to do the football deals. You know what I'm saying? Big football clubs, right? Pay agents fees like crazy. That one you cannot escape. That is the reality of modern football. You get what I'm saying? The money has gone obscene, right? And to tell the truth, you're talking about a value of a player, right? Especially if you're talking about a Premier League player, right? Like I'm giving you an example like our Solanke deal last season. Guy and I will gladly accept that if we bought Solanke for £40 million, we would be happy. But paying 65,
Yeah, it would be a little bit more happier. A little bit more happier. A little bit more happier.
But paying up to 57 to 65 for him, it's because of the English tax. The English tax, the EPL tax, and all that. So that is the reality.
Yeah, just after one purple patch as well. After one purple patch, 60
and we
M's.
can't escape. And the best part now is, right, when it comes to Kudus, what does Kudus give to Spurs? A lot of people saying that Kudus has the best dribbling stats, right, in the Premier League or in the whole of Europe last season, right? That he can get past his players and all that. But his goal contribution, right, wasn't that great because what did he do? He scored 3 goals last season. But a lot of West Ham fans were defending him by saying that because of the way Potter played, right, he wasn't played in his right position. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, service to Bowen, innit? It seems from the fans that I'm talking to, it's just like, yeah, it's all about giving service to Bowen. It's all about giving service to Bowen, and it's just like, okay, cool.
Yeah. So okay, for your observation, from your observation, right? If you take the sense of the first season when Kudus came in, even when we were doing shows, right, I told him I want that boy. Remember?
Yeah.
He looked good, on the wings. He cuts in.
I wouldn't put it that way, Eugene. I wouldn't put it that way.
Yeah. For the club, right? Yeah. And the thing is that he impressed me enough to say that, it piques my interest if we could get him, right? But of course, the first season he came in, I think he scored 8 goals or something like that, if I'm not mistaken, right? In the Premier League, was it about 8 or 6 or something like that, or maybe 5? Yeah, but that was his first season. There was a push off from there. Then after that, when this season, the previous season passed, right, that we saw a drop off. Was it because he was played in the wrong position? Was he wrongly? Because I think under Moyes, right? He was under Moyes for about 6 months to a year. Was he under Moyes?
Yeah, he was he was under Moyes for a season. In that season,
and that season you guys won the Conference League, right?
Oh no. That was before.
Okay, he came before the Conference League win, right? That means
he came after. He came after.
After conference,
he came after.
Okay, so Moyes was still there, and Moyes more or less got a tune out of him. Then when Lopetegui came in, right, that's when the wheels fell off.
Yeah, correct.
Right?
Because
so that's when you were telling us he was having all this dispute with the manager. He wasn't happy the way that he was playing, right?
Yes, because if I'm not mistaken, Lopetegui, because normally Kudus likes to play in that. No, I wouldn't say central. He likes to play in the right wing, but more like Kulusevski type. That sort of he'll cut in and sort of shoot. That sort of right central position, like how Harvey Elliott plays that type. That sort of center mid, like right center mid. Like he's very good at that. He'll cut in and shoot. So if
But
you
do you
give him that
consider him?
space,
But do you consider him as a forward?
uh,
Is he a midfielder or is he a forward player?
no, I wouldn't call him a I'll call him a forward. Yeah, I wouldn't call him a midfielder. I would say for me when I saw him, I think he's very good in dribbling, cutting in, scoring, long range shooting, taking on players.
What
But
like
when
Sonny used to be.
But when Lopetegui came in, I mean that season, last season he kept playing him on the left wing, and I was thinking during those games like, why are you playing him on the left wing? I mean, you have Bowen there, why can't you play him in the middle? You have Somerville who can play on the left. So this was my thinking. I was like, okay, why you keep playing him there? He kept playing him there, kept playing him there. I was like, okay, this I felt this was very weird. Then when
So that
Potter
means,
came in,
okay, so whatever you're saying right now, so that means if Kudus comes in right into our squad and this team, right,
yeah,
most probably he will either be Brennan Johnson's replacement for the first team.
I would say so. It could be three options. One, I would say, is a right wing or attacking midfielder, or sort of like if you play a 4-3-3, more of an advanced midfielder. I would say something. Yeah, I would say something like that. More of a forward midfielder, like
Right.
like a Kulusevski, like how Kulusevski, like Julinton, like in that sense. I would say something like that. He would move forward runs in that sense. I mean, like bombard, move forward. Yeah, make progressive runs. I mean, like that.
So that
He's
means,
very
Guy, to tell the truth, right? What I'm hearing from Keshaf here now, right? Kudus is not being brought in as a replacement for Son.
No, he's not. Because I looked at it, because obviously, no offense, like I say, don't watch West Ham every week. I only watch them when they're against us, right? So I did what everyone does, right? You go on Transfermarkt and you go on Footfob, and like I say, I don't take stats as gospel. I prefer the eye test over anything, right? Because if someone says to me, "Oh yeah," because like we've got people playing out of position pretty much the whole season for us, right? Like Archie Gray. You know, oh, he's a defender. No, he's not. That's not what we brought him in for. From what I'm seeing, it seems to me the way he has been played, and again, stats don't mean anything without context, right? It seems like he's very equal either through the centre, which has been played. I'm not saying that's how good he is. It seems like the way he has been deployed is 50% down the centre and 50% down the right. You know, it's kind of like a 50-50. It seems like he is. He comes across, and you know, I don't watch highlight reels. I don't think highlight reels present. You can make a 10-minute highlight reel of Garnacho and make him look like Ronaldo. You know what I mean? And we all know that player is a scrub. But yeah, so I am gonna watch more 90-minute games of him. Probably not last season. Probably a couple of seasons ago, just to get a feel for him, because it does seem like he's a good dribbler. That's what I've been told by everyone. So it's either everyone is lying or everyone is blind, or it's got some truth to it, right? And I'm getting this from West Ham fans as well, and people who are just obsessed with every Premier League game. I'm not. I watch as much as I can, but that's it. And like I say, I don't particularly. I'm not. I consider West Ham a rival because back in the day. So I ain't even gonna. I don't even go to their away matches because your stadium is shit. Anyway, but it's horrible, man. It's a horrible stadium. I'm glad we didn't move there. Which some West Ham fans are still salty about. But yeah, I mean, for me, it seems like he's a versatile player. He moves the ball up. I don't know. I haven't looked at his passing at all, but it seems like he's very quick. From what I've seen of him, he's very quick on the ball. He's very good in counter attacks as well, because we suck at that. And he seems. I know this is going to sound very nasty, but he seems very ball hungry. Like he wants to be on the ball. He wants to stay on the ball. And from what I've seen of him, he's a very, which is something, Eugene, you can attest to this. If Matters doesn't play, we have zero creativity. Look at that final. That final that we won was the least creative final I've ever seen in my life, right? So he seems like a very creative player, which is something that we at Spurs desperately need. We desperately need that. Because, if you look, as soon as Madders is out, I know Kulu has his flourishes, and unfortunately Son is out. Look, we all know Son is not prime Son. I know we can talk about managers and all that crap, but let's keep it on track. He's not been the Son of late, and let's face it, Brennan Johnson is a tapping merchant. We all know that. Come on, we all know that. We don't need to beat around the bush here. So it seems like to me, Kudus seems to be very good on the right and also very good centrally, which is something that we need. I mean, Brennan Johnson, ole, a lot of fans love Brennan Johnson. I think he's okay. I think he's a solid 5 out of 10. 5 out of 10. I'm sorry, he's a solid 5 out of 10.
So,
and it seems like,
So if Kudus comes in, right, basically what we are saying now, right, he's going to play the 10 role then.
Well, this is the thing. I mean, I'm not Thomas Frank, right? And this is the thing. We've never seen Frank at Spurs yet. We haven't seen the friendlies. I think it's gonna. I think the friendlies and obviously the Super Cup is where we're going to see where he fits. I mean, I'm not one of these people on content creation sphere where I'm like, yeah, I know exactly how this player thinks. I know exactly what this manager thinks. He's going to play him on the right. He's going to put Brennan on the bench. Blah, blah. No. I think what we'll do, because Thomas Frank is a good coach. Is he a great coach? We'll see, but he is a good coach, a good, solid coach. I think until he gets to our training ground and gets into the swing of things, I don't know exactly how we're going to play him. But like I say, from what I've seen from the stats, it's literally either right or centrally. Sometimes on the left if needed, but not predominantly on the left. But I think I don't think he's going to be a Son replacement. I don't think he is. But then again, who knows? Maybe with Thomas Frank, with a little spark of magic like he did with Mbuemo and Ivan Toney, he might be able to. And Vista. He might put him on the left, and he might be amazing.
Guy, hold on. Because if to talk about that, right? Because according to Ketchup, Lopetegui played him on the left during his reign, and he didn't like it.
Yeah. Well, this is I mean, like I say, I'm just going from the stats here. It's either central or right, and I'll kind of leave it at that. I mean, at the end of the day, we won't know. We won't know where he will play, and we don't. This is nothing. Spurs squad. We don't even know who's even going to be in our. We as Spurs fans, how many arguments have we had about our starting 11? Most Spurs fans don't even know the best starting 11. So I think we'll give him time and then we'll go from there. Because right now, until he kicks the ball, mate, I'm putting my hands up and going, look, it's a nice signing. We've rogered West Ham so hard they coughed up a player for us, which is nice. Thank you very much. But until we see him kick a ball on the pitch or in the training ground, we ain't gonna know. We're not gonna know. Not for 100% certainty, and not even for a 50% certainty. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. All right, guys in the chats, right? What do you think? Do you think we'll play Kudus? In which position would be his best position? Of course, all of us are speculating because, like what Guy is saying, and I've been saying this, right? We don't even know what system Frank is going to play. Whether it's going to play 3 at the back with the wing backs. Because to tell the truth, right, we have
5 at the back. He's played 5 at the back before.
Yeah, we have 2 brilliant wing backs, right, with Udogi and Porro, right, and we got Spence there. And the thing is that the system we do not know whether we're going to play 2 up front, 1 up front, 3 in the middle, 4 in the middle, right, or 2 in the middle, right. That's the thing at this moment in time. What is very true is that I'm happy that we are moving quick for a good, right, I'm not a good player to come into.
Yeah, he's a good player. I would say he's a good player
to improve our squad, right? To improve our squad, and we'll have to sit back and watch what happens during the friendly games and see how Frank gives him a position. But the problem is that, like what me and Guy are saying, right, until he signs the contract, he's holding the jersey, he's in the stadium, right, pissing in the pot, then I'll believe it.
yeah. Until he laces his boots up with a new sponsor, with that shirt, that home shirt. I'm not even going to comment on that. He picks up that shirt and, signs on the dotted line, and we get our little YouTube shorts of him running up the treadmill half naked, which I find really weird. that like a lot of content creators are like watching these half-naked men. I'm just like, oh, bro, I'm out. Oh, I don't need to watch this. I'm good, bro. I'm good, bro. I just need to know, did he pass the medical or not? Good. I don't need to see like, you know, Cobra Kai half naked running up a treadmill. I'm good, man. I'm good. But yeah, it's because this is the thing in Spurs. I see this a lot. And like I say, I know there's a lot of people that know a lot more about Thomas Frank than I do, know a lot more about the tactics than I do. But I still say to them, like, all of this is okay, is an educated speculation. But we don't know. We're in flux at the minute, mate. We don't know what the fuck we're going to do until we're on the pitch. And I'm personally looking forward to it. I'm not going to lie. This signing, if happens, I'll be happy, mate. I'll be looking forward to it.
Yeah. And guys in the chat, have you got any news yet? Is Kudus in yet? Has the video come out yet? If it's out, and let us know, right? So at least we can go, here we go, breaking news, right?
Because here's the thing. Here's the thing. It's not like he's got to come far. All he's got to do is get a bus up the road. You know what I mean? He's only got to cross the river. You know what I mean? He's only got to cross the river and he's there. You know, this isn't like having to fly in Cobra Kai from Japan or whatever. You know, just give him a bus pass. Come over here, mate. Come on, we'll get your medical done. 5 minutes. It's all good.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but we come back to the thing is that, coming to trying to understand where Kudus will play and all that, we will see when time comes, right? And I'm going to ask Keshav this question, right? What players have you guys been linked to this season?
We have been linked to quite a lot of positions. It seems Potter wants to strengthen some key positions. We've been looking at a left wing back to replace Emerson, who's going to leave. I don't know when. And then we're looking at a left centre back. We are looking at a goalkeeper because Fabianski's already he's left already. And then we're looking at 2 midfielders because let's be honest, we definitely need a ball-winning midfielder, progressive midfielder. All of our midfielders are what we call blockers right now. We definitely need a replacement for Kudus. We definitely need a striker. And yeah, I would say that. And
no, but I know these are the players you need, but who have you been actually linked to? Linked to?
From what I've heard, we're linked to that Sparta Prague left wing back Diouf. I think his name is Malik Diouf. Yeah, okay. He plays as a left wing back, sort of a left midfielder, I think. So it seems like we're haggling with Sparta Prague. They're looking at 17 million. We're trying to. It seems like we're trying to reach that figure through some add-ons, or I'm not sure. I haven't kept up to that, but it seems like at Slavia Prague, we have rejected 2 of our bids, so we have to try and agree with a fee soon. Hopefully, this Kudus deal sort of ramps things up, shall I say? And then we are linked to a Leeds. I think it's a Leeds defender. No, Toulouse defender. His name is Charlie Cresswell. Sort of a left centre back. Quite good in the air, very good. He's very good aerially, so he's sort of a good young defender we're looking at. Midfielders, we've been linked to quite a few couple, but I'm not sure if we're able to get them. One of them is Onyedika from Club Brugge. He's a defensive midfielder. That one I'm not sure. We're also looking at Harvey Elliott. That one
Harvey Elliott.
Harvey Elliott. Yeah. Sorry. We both just went, what? Harvey Elliott? Like the guy that just won the Euros, fam. Sorry. I'm not meant to laugh, but that is hilarious. And good luck on that one, mate. Good luck. Because weren't Spurs linked to Harvey Elliott at one point? Well, we were linked to everyone, man.
Yeah, we always link to everyone, so it doesn't matter, right? So. No, but if you do get Harvey Elliott, right, that would be a good buy for you guys. It would be a good replacement for Kudus, if I'm not mistaken. He's young too.
Yeah, he smashed it at the Euros, man. I watched every game, and because we've also got our own little kid there, Archie Gray. So it's always nice to see him, even though he was benched a lot. But we won't go there. It's fine. He won a trophy and a medal, so that's good. But yeah, I think he's a great creative player, mate. He's awesome.
If you get Harvey Elliott, I tell you, right, you guys got to steal there, right?
Yeah, he'll work well with Bowen. Mate.
Yeah, but Harvey Elliott will cost around, I think 45 million pounds on
and
midfield.
that will blow up our budget. So
Yeah.
let's be fair. The budget we have currently, if I'm not mistaken, is the selling of players. So the Kudus money, technically what we have is what we have to buy using that. So it's what, 55 million? So let's be honest, with 55 million, probably can get 2 to 3 players. Yeah, that's not enough for me. We have to get 5 or 6 or even 7.
2 to 3 players in this. I don't know if you've noticed the market, fam. 2 to 3. I mean, you'll get 2 to 3 potentials, but I don't think you'll get 2 to 3 starters with that, mate.
No, guy, but they are buying on a different level. You can see, they unless like what Kesha said, if they buy Harvey Elliott, they blow their budget. You can see, if they buy
we're trying to look at young players, up and coming type
from the European leagues, in a sense. So there's no English tax and all that. So they're 2 or 3.
You're gonna have to get something from the Championship, fam.
Right, don't laugh at them about the Championship, right? We paid 40 million for
bro. You know this. I also love Charlton Athletic. Charlton Athletic are now in the Championship, so that's go Charlton. But
maybe you will take Solomon from us too, because he
no. Okay.
Right.
And I think I heard from a lot of Western. If I'm not mistaken, a lot of Western posts saying that it seems that we wanted to do a deal with Chelsea, but I think Chelsea weren't willing to exchange players with us. So that was also quite a
no, guy. No. Kesha, you can't break that good relationship that Arsenal and Chelsea have, right? Because they are buddies. Okay?
Oh my God, yeah, they're buddies. They're buddies, more like fuck buddies.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, so you
and Arsenal at the bottom, mate.
Yeah, so Chelsea only sells to Arsenal and nobody else. That's the deal.
So it's gonna be a difficult summer. Not to say I'm not looking forward. It's just very gloomy right now. I would say not looking good.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. That sentiment of doom and gloom. I've heard people cancelling their season ticket over this. By the way, I'm hearing people cancelling their season tickets, man. That's insane. Just over this.
It's the same thing, right? A lot of Spurs fans have cancelled their season tickets. I know personally a couple of Spurs fans who are close to me, right? Yeah,
me?
Yeah, look at that. Even after we won the trophy, he's cancelled the season ticket.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry, mate. They've got look. My season ticket costs, because we got really high season tickets, right? It's 1,680 a year. 1,680 a year until this club. Because I went to because Eugene will know this. I went to pretty much every game until I got sick. Because I got very ill. Was it just after January? I think it was just after January. So I got really ill, and I couldn't go to games. But going to every Premier League game, and I could go to the away games as well, and just see us getting smashed. It's just not worth it, mate. It's just not worth it. It's not worth going just to see your team lose all the time. I know people are going to be like, support the club. No, fuck off, man. Leave it and piss off.
That's true. No, but the scary part for Keshav now, right? If they don't improve, right? The 3 teams who are promoted from the Championship, if they move,
was it Leeds, Sunderland, and
Burnley?
Say again, Burnley. Burnley. Well, they got Kyle Walker now, so they might actually do something.
Yeah. And don't forget, right? Sunderland, they are spending the money.
Yeah, they're spending money.
Yeah, Sunderland is spending the money. Leeds, I'm not sure about what's Leeds doing, right? They might move later in the summer transfer window, right? Might get a couple of Spurs players in for loans or whatever, right? I'm not sure because we got a good relationship with Leeds, right?
Yeah, we do.
We are buddies with Leeds, right? Oh dear,
I love it. Yeah. The most southern club and the most northern, one of the most northern bloody clubs. It's like, get on the coach, lad. You're going to Leeds.
I'm going to ask Keshav this: Are you going to be afraid that you're going to be in a relegation battle scenario?
I've sort of always suspected this, Eugene. Long time. I said if we lose our best players or sort of not get a grip. I mean, not to say 2 seasons ago, I was very worried because that season when we won the conference, I was very scared if we go down. But thank God we were safe. But I'm very scared. I'm very worried right now because
What? Just a quick one. What position were you in? Because like I say, no offense, I don't remember league tables throughout the years. What
okay,
position were
last
you
season we
in
finished
when you won that
14th.
Conference League?
Conference League we finished 16th.
Okay,
Oh no,
cool.
wait,
So
16th or 15th. Wait, let me check. Wait, I think it was.
yeah,
No,
because I
because
just want to get a handle.
last season I know you guys finished 16 because we were 17th, right? And
Yeah.
United was 15th. Right. That
We
one I
finished,
remember
we
very well.
finished 14th. Sorry, we finished 14th.
Okay. So you've been hovering on that lower end of the table for some time then.
Yeah,
Wow.
But the thing is that, right? When Moyes was there in I think in his second season, that season before the Conference League triumph, right? You guys were actually 7th. That's why you were.
Yeah, that's how they got in the Conference League.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
You don't get in the Conference League unless you're there, mate.
Unless you win a cup like the Carabao Cup, then you get the Conference League, right? But you guys were actually 7th, so that was actually a very good result for Moyes.
Yeah, mid-table. West Ham. See, West Ham, from what I remember of you're like I say, because of the rivalries, is like West Ham have always. No, I'm not offending West Ham here. You know, I can do that if you want, but it's a nice show. I'm giving you some respect. It seems like West Ham have always been mid-table, but they always do perform well, like we do, in cup competitions. Because didn't you win the FA Cup as well recently in the last 5 years?
Nah.
Or 6 years, or...
No, they haven't.
Like, you tell me, like I say, I don't keep tabs, mate.
No, they have not won the FA Cup in a long
No,
time.
a long time ago.
No.
Long time ago, yeah. No, but the thing is that we all know, right? West Ham usually hovers around the 14th to the 7th position. You get what I'm saying? Around that. Yeah. 14th to 7th position, depending on what they're doing. If they are in Europe, they drop back down. If they're not in Europe, they're playing one game.
Yeah, because they can't. Yeah, they just can't do all fronts, can they? They were kind of like us. Whenever we've been in a European competition, we've bumbled the league, man. We've bumbled the league.
And we know what owners we have, right, Guy? We never actually improved. That's why let's hope this season is something different. So yeah, but when it comes down to the point is, right, like what you said, the owners are the problem. You keep getting managers in. You had a stable manager in David Moyes, right?
Yep.
Right, and look at what happened, right? Didn't Moisey last season go back to Everton?
Yep.
And look where Everton is.
Yeah, because Sean Dyche nearly run that club into the ground. No offense, Sean, but you were crap at Everton and you should have never stepped in that door.
No, but the thing is that with Moyes, right? I think Moyes is a more pragmatic kind of manager.
Very pragmatic.
He knows when he goes into clubs like these, right? That he knows the budget is not big. He knows what to do with the players. How he wants to set up.
Exactly.
He knows what to do. Then when you put Moyes into a bigger team like Manchester United,
he fails hard, fam.
Yeah, because they want an attacking style of football, more flair, more egos. Don't forget, when you go into a bigger club, the bigger the egos are, right? So he couldn't handle that. So I guess the problem is that after the Conference League win, the confidence wasn't with Moyes. You all guys wanted Moyes out, chanting Moyes out. You got in Lopetegui. Lopetegui came in. Lopetegui couldn't actually adapt to the Premier League. We saw that, right?
Yep.
And then now you moved on to Graham Potter. And Graham Potter, we can't judge him too much because I think he just had half a season after Lopetegui left, right? And now and to tell the truth, right? Graham Potter is right in the same position where Ruben Amorim is. That's how
I would say so. Yeah, I would say so. I want to try and every season I'm trying to find positives, right? But the problem is it's a board that's irritating. That's you get what I mean.
Like if you're Manchester United, right? You could still go out and splurge on one Cunha. You guys know. I was earlier on KG's show, right? A Manchester United show, right? I was there for a few minutes before this show started. I told him, I asked KG, you bid, right, 62.5 million pounds for Mbeumo, right? When Brentford wanted 65. It's just another 6 2.5 million pounds. Why can't you just give it and take Mbeumo? You get it? But then they turn around and tell me we are broke. But if you are broke, right, why are you bidding 62.5?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. But the problem with now in West Ham, right, you don't even see you guys bidding for anybody.
Exactly correct. We're desperate. That's the problem.
So
When you
that means-
play clubs, you're
And that's
desperate.
that's why when you're desperate, that's when Daniel Levy steps in, right? And Daniel
Only
Levy
good
does
at this type.
Yeah, he put his balls on the table, and Sullivan just went num 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 num.
Yeah, tell the truth, right? I think for 55 million, I hope, to tell the truth, right, Kudus turns out well because, being a Spurs fan, we always overhype our players coming in. We always overhype them, and that's the
We don't
scary
just
thing.
do that. We don't just do that. Take Sonny, for example. We overhype them. They have one bad season. We want to get rid of them straight away. Oh, he's a dud. It's like the Tell situation, right? Spurs fans, I swear to God, most of them just remember the previous season. They don't remember like 10 years ago, 20 years ago. Gareth Bale didn't have a great first season. And it's just like,
He didn't have a great first season, right? But sometimes,
shit.
But I'm going to come back on the Tell thing, right? My fear with Tell, but one thing Tell has on his side, right? He's young. He's only 19. He's turning 20 this year, right?
Don't forget the Thomas the Frank Engine magic, though. It's Thomas the Frank Engine magic.
Yeah. Then they're saying if Thomas Fred comes in, they can coach him and then he will do better. I hope so, because to tell the truth, right, we did spend a lot of money on Tell because we bought Thomas, Matisse Tell, plus the loan money, right? Plus his this money that we paid up for him is up to 45 million pounds now. And that's not cheap.
And he did not hit the ground running, and it didn't seem like he was improving.
And
but then again, that's the thing.
He didn't improve. He didn't impress me last season, right? All I saw in
didn't
Tell,
impress anyone.
All I saw in Tell, right, is Timo Werner 2.0. That's what fears. That was fears.
Well, we'll see. We've got to give him a full. The thing is, let's give Tell a good preseason, which he's going to get, right? A good preseason, nice preseason. We'll see him in the friendlies, right? We're going to see him in the friendlies, hopefully, because we paid enough for him, so he should. Because Tell is supposed to be. It looks like Tell's the Sonny replacement, right? Let's see the friendlies. We've got the Super Cup, which we're going to get completely railroaded, considering they blasted Madrid 4-0. They have not conceded a goal in the entire bloody tournament apart from one.
No. Wait, guy. The Super Cup, right? There's a caveat there, because due to FIFA rules, right, players must have at least 3 weeks rest. So most probably
no, that's not going to matter, mate. Let's not hop on the copium here and the hopium.
That's all we have, right? Remember, we were positively deluded. Super Cup. We're going back to that mode again.
We're huffing the copium and the hopium hard, man. I mean, let's give them a good preseason. Let's give them a good couple of games where there's not so much pressure. Let's face it, friendlies are friendlies. We've got the Super Cup. Let's once all of that is out the window, we've also got the exhibition games against Arsenal in Hong Kong. We've got the Korean tour, I think, again, haven't we? We've got another Korean tour.
We're playing Newcastle in Korea. We're playing Arsenal in Hong Kong. And then we come back. We are playing Bayern Munich again or something like that, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, isn't it the Audi Cup or what's the new cup, that new friendly cup? Because you've got the Emirates Cup, the Audi Cup. Because we won the Audi Cup last year or something. I can't remember. We won it once.
We won the Thomas Tell Cup or something like that. I can't remember.
Yeah. Some dumb friendly competition. But let's see how he gets on. I will reserve judgment because he hasn't had enough time in my eyes. But we'll see. If he completely flops again, we'll have this conversation at the end of the season.
That's true. No, but okay, I'm going to ask Keshav this one. Keshav, any academy stars coming up from your academy? Do you have any young potentials?
Yes, we do have. Some of them went out on loan, I think last season. Few of them, one of them went to, if I'm not mistaken, Wycombe Wanderers.
Wycombe Wanderers, yeah.
Wycombe Wanderers. His name is Freddie Potts. very good player, very good player, under 21. And then the other player, I think we got out on loan. I forgot where he went to. I think I forgot where. Bristol City. Again, very good attacking midfielder. I do not know whether he'll be in this. Probably he'll be in part of the squad. George Erty, brilliant. He seems like he played very well for Bristol last season. He seemed to have played well there. And we have Lewis Offord. He played a bit of a part in Graham Potter's squad last season. I mean, towards the end, I mean, he played good. I mean, coming off from the bench, I mean, he was. I would say he was okay. Other than that, I would say that's it. Really, I mean, our midfield, I would say. I mean, academy, but other than that, not so much. So,
But any chance of them breaking into the first
I
team?
hope so. I really hope so, because I think it's perfect timing. Perfect timing, because let's say we don't have money to spend, just put them in. Really.
That's what Potter should do, right?
Because
the problem with Spurs, right? Like we got up and coming potentials. I'm not going to say stars and not potentials like Mikey Moore, right? Jai, Olasesi, and all that.
Scarlett.
Dane Scarlett, and Divine and Donnelly and all this, right? But we are always buying players like this. Mikey Moore is a predominantly left-sided player. For me, I see him, right? If he does have a good chance of growing into
He's a good player. He's a good player.
Of going into the squad next season, playing on the left, right? He could be our Son replacement in 3 or 4 years' time. But the problem is that now we bought Matisse Tell, right? That might, stop his progression. So for me, is that for us, our young players,
we're competing in 4 competitions. Remember, we're competing in 4 competitions.
But the thing is that will they get game time is one thing. Is it better for them to go out on loan is another thing for us. But that will be a whole totally different conversation down the next 1.5 months time before the season closes, whilst we watch all the friendlies, right? And Keshav, what friendlies are West Ham playing this season? Are you going any tour and all that?
We have 2 weeks. I think next week, I think we're playing a club called Grasshoppers. I think pre-season friendly we have. And then we're going on a US tour. I think it's Chicago or something. I forgot. We always like our West Ham. Always love the US tours. We're going to Chicago, or I forgot, somewhere in there. I forgot. We're playing I think we are playing that American friendly. What's it called? Everton are playing in that. Bournemouth are playing in that. I forgot. Man United. So I don't know what is it called.
There's some competition going on.
Premier League Summer Series. That's what you call it. Premier League Summer. Everton.
The thing is that you like to go to America, like Spurs likes to go to Asia.
Correct. And what I'm saying is, why can't I've been saying this? Why can't West Ham start going to Asia?
Because you don't have enough Asian players in there.
Always going to America, and I'm like, why can't we just start going to Thailand or somewhere? It'd be great.
Thailand. Why don't you say West Ham comes to Malaysia, right?
I'll definitely come. Bukit Jalil, why not?
You won't fill up the Bukit Jalil Stadium, right? Even Manchester United didn't fill up the Bukit Jalil Stadium. Okay, guys. All right, go ahead. Keshav, go ahead.
No, when Man United came in the Malaysian tours, I didn't go and watch the match. I mean, physically, but I was watching the highlights and I was laughing.
Oh, you mean when you came? Yeah, I wasn't even laughing at the match. I was laughing at the bus parade throughout KL. Oh dear! But guys, I'll be wrapping up soon, right?
I was about to say my headphones. Can you hear me?
Oh yes.
Yeah, my headphones have died, so I'm gonna go and have some lunch. It was nice talking to you, man. Thank you for sharing your knowledge of the West Ham and in the nicest possible way.
Sure.
I hope you get what you want. Let's go. At the end of the day, a more competitive league, a more competitive team brings out more competitive matches, so at least they're entertaining. I'll leave it at that. All right, matey?
Okay.
All right, take care, guy. Catch you later.
See you later, mate.
See you later.
All right, thanks for being here. All right, Keshav, last words from you, and before we close this up.
Well, not good seeing Kudus Spurs. Hopefully, it's a bit sad, to be honest. Really sad. Not happy at all. But this is what it is. Can't do anything about it. Just have to West Ham have to move on. West Ham have to be smart in the market. Yeah, not what I wanted, but West Ham have to be smart. West Ham have to attack the market with whatever budget we have, and yeah, to be honest, I wished he would have got a little bit more money, but I think Daniel Levy got what he wanted, and he lowballed the offer, and David Sullivan got pressured. This is, yeah, no, it's very. I feel sorry for these fans because our owners should have done better. Let's be honest here, but as usual, owners are, yeah, not good. But I'll leave it at that. But what I would say is, hopefully, we can have a good season. I'm trying to find positives, but hopefully, as the situation comes and we have pre-season friendlies, hopefully it'll be better. We can hopefully get some signings in. Hopefully Potter gets his plan across. I'm hoping this season not much really top 12, I would say. Yeah, I think if you look at the likes of Everton, I really think they'll finish above us. And yeah, let's be honest, competitiveness of Premier League. You have Chelsea spending this amount of money, Man City. It's just getting
Chelsea,
a bit.
Chelsea's obscene, right? I'm not going to say anything. Chelsea.
I do not know how they can spend this more money, and it's a bit.
Yeah, they can spend this money and don't get into trouble, right? And then their fans are denying, and their fans are denying that they haven't spent 1.5 billion pounds. So yeah, we all see that, right?
Yeah. So in that way, I really hope we at least give the West Ham fans something. I really hope get our academy players. Give them a chance, get the squad back to, competing, get a good, we need our identity back. That's all we need to start the process slowly. And yeah, that's all I'll say. I hope Potter, I wish him all the best, but the board really needs urgent solutions now. We have to give him the money to spend. We have to sign players right now. It's very important. If not, then protest has to happen. So that's the only thing I would say. But yeah, other than that, yeah, that's my thoughts. And yeah, if you guys wanna, I have an Instagram channel on football. If you guys wanna follow me, it's called KDK_hammer.
Yep, KDK_hammer, guys. If Keshav, you want, you can just put it in the chats, right, and see anybody will follow you on Instagram. Right before we go off, of course, I just read the chats. And all right, Queen Ellie says that Kudus is coming for bigger, better, and not sorry that we took him as we have done it to us by bigger and better clubs. Yep. Then so it is what called mess chain, right, Kesha? Right. Of course, Queen Ellie says here, yeah, big up. Donna Cullen, thanks for being here. Leslie Reyes, thanks for being here. Eva Man, big up the Eva Man. Hope you enjoyed the end of the month, when Arsenal plays, when Arsenal plays Spurs at the Kai Tak Stadium. And of course, Luca, big up to Luca. He says the Gyökeres deal is off. Seriously? All right, and big up to Chris Agamba. Chris, hope you're well. Take care. And Brush, take care too. Hope you guys are well. Right, saw you on KG's chat, in the chats in KG's earlier. Right, and right, your Instagram. Let me see whether I can cut and paste this and put it for Keshav in the chats. Hold on. Okay, this is Keshav. Instagram channel is.
And I also have a TikTok account if anybody's interested in. I also
TikTok too.
Yeah.
Right. He's got TikTok too. Right. Let me paste this. This is Keshav's Instagram. Right, Miss Donna Cullen, yeah, go and follow Kesha. Right. Let me go back down to all the, yeah.
Yeah, that's my channel. So you can follow.
And Money, big up Money. Right, hope you're doing well. Right, Money. Is it true? Lucas says that Gyökeres deal is off. Money, is it true? Let me put his Keshav's TikTok account in there too.
Yes, app, you can find it. It's yeah. I'll send it to you, then you can share it with your friends, Eugene.
Yeah. Let me copy this and put it into the chats for right. Paste. All right, guys, go and
So yeah, I normally do general content, West Ham content any Premier League transfer news I'll do, or just my thoughts on Premier League fixtures really. So if you want to give a thumbs up, please do. More subscribers would be good. So yeah.
Yep. All right. Okay, Mani, let me know whether Goikarez is coming in right later. But guys, thanks for being here. Thanks for Keshav. I haven't seen Keshav in a long time. Nearly over a year, right, Keshav?
It is what it is. What to do? Can't do anything much.
Yeah.
Then we have I decided to do. I've unsubscribed him from my Instagram.
All right, guys. I'll Keshav, hang on. I'll have a chat with you later in the back room. Let's see what is going on. Money said it's not off per se, but there's a huge disagreement over the money. As I've said, you've done well. Make sure that you got some good signings. Kudus would improve us, and you've got him. Yeah, Kudus would improve you guys. What? Kudus plays on the right. Saka plays on the right. I don't think so. Too much challenge there, right? There's too much challenge there. All right, guys. Catch up with you later. Take care. Don't forget, please like, subscribe to Spurs Version TV, Ricky Via TV, and Shelfside Spurs, right? We're all three linked together. That's why this is playing on all three channels, right? Catch up with you next time, guys. If I have time, I'll put out more content, right? If I go back to work, I'll try to do the watch-alongs for the friendly. If it's shown on the Malaysian, on my cable, then we'll do a watch-along for the friendlies, especially in Korea. I think that's coming up July 19th. And then, of course, the one in Hong Kong, 31st of July, right? All right, guys, take care. Bye-bye. And as always, VB out.